Hello, hello. Welcome back, folks. We got a fun one today. We are in Diamond Ranked. We're having some fun. And, oh, we got a terrible hand here. All right, let's go ahead and do the card by card. The opponent looks to be on a 40-card deck. Very good for them. We are a little bit more than that. So we have Habakiri, Wand, Aramasa, Saji, and Fulos. Not great. So we obviously have to start with the Saji, right? We're going to go ahead and grab Ritual. Ritual out from hand. They do have the Maxi. This sucks, right? Because this completely stymies our plays. We can play around Fulos with the Mitsurugi engine, but we cannot play around both Maxi and Fulos. So we end up summoning the Habakiri. We get our materials in grave here. They do get their draw. We're going to go ahead and put back and search here. So we'll go ahead and do that in that order. So we'll go ahead and search, and we'll go ahead and grab back the Ritual. All right, attempt to Ritual from deck. We got to get this Murakumo online, and they freaking Impulse us. That's so rough. So rough. Such a crazy card, Impulse. So we are left with no choice. We have to make an SP here. It does allow us to potentially use our Fulos on the opponent's turn. It's some disruption. You know, it's got to be better than nothing. So all of our little guys are in grave, and the opponent's on Labrynth, which, you know, ideally gives us a little bit more time to play. So I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. So they're going to go ahead and get their Ariana here, which means we can chain SP. We need to get SP off the field as quickly as possible so we can set up our Fulos and start drawing from their summons from deck or extra deck, which they won't probably do much extra deck summoning, but chances are they're going to probably try to summon from deck using one of their welcome traps. So they've got Welcome Labrynth, which sure enough, we're going to chain our Fulos here to get something here. We need some draws. Okay, so now they are going to chain their Arias to get a free body on the field. That is fine. So Fulos, go ahead and get me that sweet draw off of the Welcome. They set up their Lady, which is just crazy. Now, Impulse is nice. You know, this is just going to be an Impulse war, it looks like. We've got their Impulse. We've got our Impulse now. You know, they'll obviously get to take full advantage of the traps being engraved sooner than we will, but nonetheless, we still have an Impulse for their follow-up, which we know they've gone ahead and they, let's see, they set their Welcome here. Oh, no, they summoned. So we don't know what their sets are. Oh, they did. Effect. So Arias, they set that and they activated it. So we don't know what these sets are. These are unknown sets, it looks like. So, yep, is what it is. We're going to have to continue our plays. Top deck, oh, and we just ripped the best draw we possibly could have right off the top. So we're going to go ahead and shoot that off right away. Girsu, set up the Harp. Girsu, go ahead and grab our Link 1 here. This is a lot of options because we do have already 2 bodies on the field, which means, you know, we can start doing schmoobs here. So we're going to go ahead and Galatea Eye for the Babel. Set the Babel up first and then start threatening their setup here. So we are going to choose to make our Nightmare Phoenix. We do need to start cleaning up this back row. We don't know what either of these are. So we're just going to do a blind 50-50. Get rid of this, you know, Mitsurugi that's not doing anything. We're going to take out their Simultaneous Equation Cannons. God, this is such a complicated card. But, you know, kudos to them for playing it. Getting some extra removal there. So we're now going to go ahead and harp on out a Nightmare. Now, this was a slight mistake. I did want to summon the Galatea Eye here so I could threaten the Link 4. You have to make it with an Orcust Link. But I accidentally misclicked and brought out the Harp. We are going to get hard punished for this, which is a bummer, and they are going to chain their Lady. So they're going to get both effects to set up their engine, which we obviously have a counter for, but then this is nasty. They're going to flip everything and then remove the Phoenix. So they end up getting a board wipe here. We do have Babel. It's not like we don't have anything. We can stymie some of their nastiest plays here. They're going to go ahead and Arias again. Oh, this time for the lovely Lady. Or the lovely Labrynth. Yep. So they're going to choose to reset, which is nasty. They summon out an extra body. They're obviously going for game here. And now they're going to make their big play with the big Welcome. So we have to stop this, right? Because this is going to turn too many of their cards online here. So, you know, forced to stop the big Welcome. They are now going to choose to activate Lady Labrynth in response. They're going to go ahead and set up another big Welcome here. So we can at least stop this big Welcome. Keep ourselves alive here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Lovely trade. We're going to Harp trade. We do have to take this lady. Now, I was hoping they would do this, right? So they summon, or they don't summon, they attacked with Ariane, and we are now going to chain this Harp, get our Girsu in rotation. They think they're all slick by trading. Damage step, nightmare. We know how this one goes, right? Pump our dude up, trade with some bodies here. Now we know they have the impulse set, so our special summons are going to be stymied this next turn. That we also know that they have the big welcome set. So another big draw here. We need something crazy. Oh my god. Heart of the cards, baby. The heart of the cards are with us tonight. So we draw the counter to their big welcome. They must be screaming because I just ripped this right off the top. Counter the big welcome. They are going to lady set. But again, like, whatever, man. That's not getting used this turn. So they're going to get their rollback here. We'll talk about that in a second. So now we just need to play around Impulse. They have no other known interruptions here. So we're going to do what Orcust does best. Break apart the board. Establish our own. Do so without activating effects to special summon too. So we're going to go ahead, get our Galatea, set up our counter trap by shuffling back the wand. We're going to need that later anyways. Now we're going to have to ding Girsu away this impulse. We need to start special summoning or activating effects to special summon, so that means we do have to remove the impulse. Now we can start to pop off with our special summon effects. Bring out the Galatea Eye. Now we're just in full combo mode. Go for the Harp, get this Girsu, send the wand, get more special summons later, make our Link 3 here. We do need to start cleaning up the board. Now, notably, we are going to keep their biggest dude. We do want to steal that. But we are going to go ahead and send their Lovely by shuffling back. We're going to start getting our engine back in rotation here by cleaning up the banished pile, putting those back in deck, just getting the grind game going, right? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and wand out the Harp to make our Link 4. This is fantastic. We're going to shuffle back the wand steal now. Finish a rank of 10. Nice. Good job, Lil. All right, so we're going to go ahead and steal their dude. Now we're going to symbol back. Now this is a little bit greedy because, right, you know, we could be using that for ding on the next turn. But what's nice is we do have some setup. So, right, Long Girsu says this card cannot attack. So we've already used his effect and then took him off the field. So this card forgets itself. So we are able to attack with the Long Girsu. And the Long does have a way, by the way, of setting up this ding summon. We do have the ability to shuffle 2 back. We can then go into, put these guys back because we do have all of our Girsus in rotation. So get those Girsus back in deck. Get the symbol, most notably, back in deck. Then we can harp out a Girsu. Girsu sends symbol. Symbol can bring back ding. So we do have a way to ding on the opponent's turn, which is great. This is also a send in case they want to get cheeky with their link summons here. So now we are in a very commanding position. Whittle them down on life points. We know what this set is. We are not going to fall into it. Now, for this transaction, so they're going to go ahead and summon out Droll, telegraphing what they're planning to do next. So they do have the Star Crisis. Now, there is a very, very slight misplay here. When Star Crisis comes out, my job is to ding Girsu, send that away. Or ideally, you just take this. I think that the best play right now to do is to take it with this Enlil Girsu because they're not going to be special summoning anymore. This guy deals with monsters. Ding can deal with anything on the field. And then, right, this is our Omni Negate to stop whatever they have in terms of counters for our plays. So the best play we should have done right here is use the Lil to shuffle back and take. Unfortunately, we try to threaten with the Long Girsu. It's fine. We're setting up our ding, getting this ding fully in rotation. They want to transaction rollback. Now, the rollback, this is notable here. This should have been, we should have crescendoed this because we need to get this thing out of rotation. So this is the crescendo target. I guess I was holding it for like some unknown in their hand. We need to disrespect whatever they have in their hand. They're not special summoning this turn at best. They're just setting another card or, they've already normal summoned. So they're just setting, right? That's the best they can do. So we needed to crescendo this away. I do choose to just let this happen. They're going to impulse our Harp, which is fine. We still have extra plays here. We are now stealing their guy like we should have from the first play. But, it just meant that in the future, like on the next turn when we tried to finish them, they would have been in, because we let the transaction go, they could have used it in Grave to get one extra trap in rotation just to, disrupt me. Not that it would have mattered much. We had a very commanding position, but slight misplay. But wow, what a crazy duel. I mean, from having nothing good in hand. I mean, that's maybe the beauty. I mean, obviously it was super lucky with the draws off the top, but because I had such a shitty starting hand, I guess I was kind of due some really good draws, you know, right off of the top there after thinning it a little bit. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed a very wacky matchup in Diamond Ranking.